North Korea warning, rogue state ready to strike U.S. with thermonuclear weapons. North Korea is on the verge of developing nuclear weapons that could hit the continental United States, former U.S. Ambassador John Bolton warned. North Korea could be able to strike the United States with nuclear weapons in the near future if China fails to intervene and deal with the rogue state. Despite international warnings, North Korea has upped its aggressive rhetoric against the U.S. and its Asian allies, sparking fears World War III could be declared at any moment. Mr. Bolton warned the U.S. might face all-out war if President Donald Trump fails to solidify the military partnership with China, North Korea's only ally in Asia. He said, "There is no more time to deal with North Korea. They are on the verge of getting a deliverable capability to hit us with thermonuclear weapons anywhere in the continental United States. It is really time for China to tell us whether they are serious or not about this, otherwise the president is going to have to look to act unilaterally to protect the American civilian population." The former U.S. ambassador to the UN said China would play a major role in re-establishing a diplomatic discussion between North Korea and the international community. Speaking to Fox News, Mr. Bolton added, "China has been jiving the United States for 25 years. They said repeatedly they don't want North Korea to have nuclear weapons, but they have not followed through on their unique capability to force North Korea to that. They upped the sanctions temporarily, and then when the U.S. turns its eyes away, it is back to business as usual. That is why this trip to China by President Trump is so important." President Trump kick-started his tour of Asia with a brief visit to the USS Arizona Memorial in Pearl Harbor to commemorate the victims of the Japanese attack that drew the U.S. into World War II. The trip, the longest tour of Asia by a U.S. president in 25 years, comes at a time of heightened tension between Washington and Pyongyang. The saber-rattling between Mr. Trump and Kim Jong-un amid the fears of World War III has been a cause of concern around the world. Malcolm Davis, a senior analyst with the Australian Strategic Policy Institute, warned war could begin within the year. He said, "We have to prepare for that possibility, perhaps, within the next 12 months. I think the ideal solution would be for China to deal with Kim Jong-un and his regime decisively. They certainly have it in their interests to ensure the regime or North Korea doesn't collapse. That doesn't necessarily mean Kim Jong-un has to be at the head of that regime." South Korean intelligence found North Korea is ready to carry out yet another nuclear test despite suffering major damage to its main testing facility in Punggye-ri. Seoul's National Intelligence Service said, "There is a possibility of a new missile launch given the active movement of vehicles around the Missile Research Institute in Pyongyang." Recent tests carried on at Punggye-ri in early September registered as a 5.7 magnitude earthquake by the South Korean government.